Actually put on the thing. Hold on. I nearly forgot about the string music. Ah! Oh, shoot. Yeah, make sure this works. Come on. Perfect. Excellent. Visit my own website, copy the link, close it immediately before I have to listen to my own voice. Double back at me. Boom. I'm live. I'm doing it. I'm a big brave boy. Anyway, hello. Guess what? We're finally out of hell. We're finally out of hell. So, I'm currently working on the commission. I'm hoping to finish it today. Let's see. Oh, that's a lot of people. I'm guessing that this may in fact be more than just my little commissioner. Feel free to say hi in the chat. If you want to give feedback as I'm going, assuming you're here, don't be afraid to speak up. I know I have to get this at least, so there's a bit of that. Let's check that reference. Just add some dark snow. My lip. Okay. I'm gonna copy this across real quick. I'm hoping this looks nice. If not, feel free to say something, because that's how it goes. Nice to have a few more viewers in here. More than me. Okay, do that. Cool. There. Okay. So we have one more basic sprite to go before I do some extra bits. Let me see. How tall is this person meant to be? I'm going to assume the same height roughly as... beans, I gotta do this, huh? Okay. Go here. We use you for reference. I guess now is the time for my antivirus scan. Okay, edit, flip horizontal. You know, the benefit of basing it off another character is that it can sort of steal the face. Actually, no, because that's a mask. That doesn't work! Instead, I will be opening a new layer. Looking for a blue. Instead of dark purple. So I assume then... nice. Okay, so you are in fact watching. When it comes to the blue of the... you know, tentacle part and all that. What sort of blue were you thinking? Because I know you specified dark purple for... what's his name? Krell, yeah. Krell has dark purple, but... when you say Takar is in fact blue, what kind of blue are you going for? Similar sort of darkish saturated color. Okay, so easy. So we take this, and we do this, and we do this, and we go for you. All right. Let me see. Sort of play around until we actually get a proper blue. Maybe saturate it slightly. Let's try this. So if this is 3144, then we do this, and 3144. God, that looks so much more teal than I realized. Yeah, how do we feel about this sort of blue? Are we on the right track? It's tricky, because going direct... Yeah, same color can have different vibes when you just change the fucking value. Let's go with this for now. In fact, let me grab this. Okay, if they're gonna need to look good against a dark background, I can probably go for white highlighting, which helps with darker characters. This is not what I meant to grab, but okay. I'll grab it onto here. I can grab this color, which is darker than the current one. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a... And sort of do this. In fact, if I grab you, drag you here. Boom. Okay, well, I can at least do this. Grab the weights. Use this. And instead go for a little bit of a darker. If I do this, and I do this, if I do this, I can use this to sort of cover them in shadow. Find another layer of this. And sort of give them a nice peeking eye out look. You sort of like boop and boop. And do this, and it's like, whoa, and then All right. Cloak fights with a dagger and hand crossbow. Just head to toe. Probably only part of his ooze face poking it from the hood. Okay, so the rest I don't have to worry about this stuff as much. How does this look for a head, though? In fact, let me just show you what I'm sort of intending to do with it, so he'll stand out in a dark background. I don't need this anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna outline them in white. That way they'll stand out in the dark, even if I use dark colors. So, what do you think? Ooh, big yawn. I think the space between the two tendrils is with the red dots looks a little ambiguous, but otherwise looks good. Ambiguous. So like you're not quite. So it doesn't quite look like a third one. Let's see. If I do this, then maybe. Whoops. Boop. Since it also has a red dot, I could do this. Does this sort of improve that? It does quite a bit. Now I kind of want a fourth for symmetry. It's a little crowded, but let me see what I can do. Bip. And if I, in fact, do this. In fact, let me just do this. We do this. We do this. We do this. Make up for this by doing this. Maybe do a little bit of this. That's kind of a bit of this. Here's what that looks like. So, in fact, let me just do this. Just make it easier to compare. Here's 2 and 4 side by side. I mean, 3 and 4 side by side. I'll probably just go for like one of these, but yeah, it's better to know your preference on which. I think those are kind of the best that I can achieve with this sort of resolution for 3 and 4. Three is definitely better. I was thinking putting the 4th to the right of the rightmost one. His right or our right? So like, first let me get rid of you. So would it be this right or would it be this right? Okay, our right. So then, if I do this, and sort of flip around a little bit. It's a bit chunky monkey. Yes. We move this here. See what that looks like. And in fact, I can sort of just do this. Sort of show that's on the outside. Delete these a little bit. Probably give this. Yeah. Let me just also try this for a second. Give them a little more room to breathe. Alright, let's grab you back to how you were before. Boom. Sort of gave him a little more room in the front for more tentacles. You like that? Perfect. Heck yeah. This is why live feedback is flippin' cool. Alright. So you said that it was dressed head to toe. Is it, like in the reference, going to be a mainly mono-colored outfit? So, like, would I be using black a lot? Because it probably wouldn't be as showy as them. This is free space? Cool. Let's see what I can do. I'll probably use an extra color for highlights, but I'm going to theme around the black that you sort of were going for. Got this, and sort of use a bit of broadness here. No. Okay, so we got let me use this to sort of figure out how you look. Gonna grab you, put you over here. That should be a good way to figure out the body. Probably gonna be standing a little. Let's see. So they got. I think I can go for a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna use this as a guide again, but you'll see what I'm going for. And the York. Alright, so I'm not gonna be exactly like that, but yeah. Edit the horizontal. Use that as a guide and just be like zip. Probably trim you up slightly on these. Let me go back to Krell, or look at their legs. Okay, they're not quite. Okay. this. I could go for a very poised look here by doing sort of this. Edit, horizontal. In fact, I'm going to do this. Sort of go for, whoops. Let's see, what's this? Okay, if I sort of, no, that's not looking right. That's not looking how I'm envisioning. Scrap that real gosh dang quick. Our body's amorphous, so there needs to be pixel perfect. Right. The real trick is getting the right sort of anatomy. Okay. Probably use a bit of black on the inseam here, just so I can... bit of this. Almost kind of sore pants-ish and leg shape. They're leaning a bit forward, so maybe if I grab you and I'm like, no, it's gonna look weird. No, Let's try and redo this inseam a bit, see if I can find the actual shape I'm looking for. Sort of do this a bit. Grab you. I need to practice my anatomy and figure out how the hell you do. Sort of just wing it until I get the right idea. So shape it right. Because the funny thing is I am doing this on a mouse. Almost like a bit of this, maybe. That's a tricky part, isn't it? Because I need to get this to look. If I do a bit of this, I can actually lengthen these somewhat. So I sort of want to give them the most tall look because they're not squatting. I go sanding pose. I always do better with a pose reference. should at least form in with their... We go back to where I had their just their body. We can figure it out from there. Reference. I could actually get away with some like... Go for a 3 and sort of just like... Got a bit of this. Whoops, I didn't actually select that color. In fact, the better option here would be if I did this, new layer, and then sort of went like this. This sort of helps there. Meanwhile, if I do this, I can then just do this. In fact, just for now, I'll make this blue so I can sort of see them better. We don't need this spam bot. We don't need you. Get out of here. Viewbot. Scam. So block. Okay. And bam. There we go. Just to sort of give them a bit more of a like a straight professional pose. But maybe I can actually do this. Though actually bringing them over there. First of all, I guess their feet are bigger than that, but Oh, I guess their legs would be that long-ish. Edit, horizontal. It's not thickening, that's the thing, is it? Sort of see where we go with that. You know what? I know this looks weird. It wouldn't look like that. There we go. Draw a bit of a cloak. Well, actually, stupid. This. I with this. I can readjust some of these to white later if need be, but for now. Oops. Sort of a professional and ready look. That's going to be where the knife is. That's going to be where the weapon is. So we'll fuck that around in a minute-ish. Sort of save that. Whoops. How did that fucking happen? There we go. bit nice. Okay. I can afford to sort of shorten the feet a little bit, just because that looks so weird. So I'm gonna go the route of this guy a little bit, sort of go for, oh, I'm not really wearing anything down here. That doesn't look quite right. But I can do this, and then we'll be like, man, how did I really achieve you the first time? First of all, you definitely looked a bit more... Probably gonna... Considering just boop, 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 boop. And also boop, 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 boop. You do this. Probably do this. Do this. It's a bit square though, ain't it? If we sort of color inwards a little. A little better. Okay. Sort of go for that. Now I can sort of accessorize just a little touch. In fact, let me just do this. Don't worry about my mat. Should be a good silver one to reuse. In fact, that should look good for that. Let's see. Save that. Yeah, looks a little nicer. All right. In fact, let me see if I can do. Let me make this a little bit darker. All right. So how's this looking so far? Just sort of a little bit of a light, almost catsuit-esque look with a hood. Little slight armor. Some straps for a little extra weaponry. Like extra darts. Or not extra darts, extra daggers. And bows. Or bolts, rather. I do like this healing. Yes! Okay, anything else before I try and add the weapons and see if we can wrap that one up? I think it's okay for now. I do worry about how it's going to look on a dark background. See, here's the thing. That's not a concern. Watch this. There's a trick for dark on dark when it comes to this sort of thing. Boom. White outline. This is going to be what I'm overlaying over the entire thing at the end. So even if the background is black... Even if in fact, I'll give it an even harder check. Even if the background is the same color, it helps them stand out perfectly. That way you can still get a dark look without compromising, preventing them from blending in. Alright, and let me just check the reference again real quick. Dagger and crossbow. So this shall be the dagger. I don't really need to worry about anything else here. In fact, this will probably be the best way to go about that. In fact, if I did this, I could easily... There we go. That's a bit more of like a dagger-esque look. So we just need to be like... Now the crossbow. Bane of my existence. Nice hand crossbow. Let's practice for that. That should be a nice, simple look. So we then just fill the gap here. In fact, if I do this, it'll look a little nicer. Meh. This needs to be like this. It'll probably just be like oh, duh. I know that looks wrong. Should kind of look a bit more like that. In fact, I should do this. In fact, I know what's really wrong with this. Oh, whoops. Should look a little drawn back. So, up, 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 up. No, it's gonna look better if I do this even. There we go. How does this look for the weaponry? Any chance we can reverse grip that dagger? Oh, you mean like back, sure. Let me just easily, zip. Obviously isn't how it's gonna look perfectly, so let's and there's that, and let's see how I can do this. So, like this reverse grip? Perfect. Easy. Breezy cover girl. Um, let's see if I... Merge down, edit, effects, outline. It'll look a bit weird if I... Okay, let's try and do this. Inside will stay, but the outside... There we go. Well, this should actually be like this, though. So, bada boom. Our nice assassin. Let me get a drink. I'll be right back in 1 second. Literally 1 second. Right. I should have done the simple ones so far. It's mostly just arm and weapon Bob. So to do that on you, alright, let's see how this looks. Well, first I'll actually have to fill in the gap that I missed there. I think I know it looks weird here. The shoulders aren't moving. So therefore, let's see how this looks. In fact, let me have a little fun here and just move most of this down. fact, if I have this poke out a little bit of credibility to what the shape looks like, so... Okay, how's this, bob look? Pretty simple, but I think it makes sense for someone who's going to be standing poised, but... Perfect! That basically means all I have to do now, first off, we're going to delete you too. Delete. This is the animation. This is not the animation layer, so quick. Save that. Yeah, you can actually sort of see how I've been compiling this stuff in the background. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Go up here. Whoops. Go here. Move over here. Take you. Do this. And then bup. Control C. Control V. Now I just do this. Zip, 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 zip. Perfect. That's complete. Next up, we're doing the rest of the stuff. So, save. Gonna use 8 for this. Going to go back here. I can copy this and grab it here. Okay, so let's see if these fit on each other so I can get the general gist. Okay, so they do not quite fit in each other, but it does appear that they are on average 28, but can be a bit longer. So let's get ourselves 28 by 28 boxes. File new, 28 by 28. All right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Check a thing. And go back to our DMs. Okay, so for Ave, that would be boop. Alright. Let's just, in fact, do this. Boink. For sin. For case or whatever. Oop. For Krell. Oop, did I copy the whole thing? I did. Okay, we're good. And finally, Taiwa. There we go. All right, time to get my 1-bit on. Quick. Get back over here, see what that looks like exactly. Okay, so is in fact a 1-bit, unless if there's a thick thing. No, this would be filling the thing. That wouldn't look right at all. Ah, wait. There we go. Doesn't really... Well, I guess Rouse has eyes. Which is very unique, but... And let's just sort of see how this looks comparatively. Hey! It's looking good already. How do you feel about this one, by the way? Let me remove this symmetry line. Hella, perfect. One down. Sin. Ooh, okay. Sins might need to be expanded slightly, so let me just... Up. And then up. 2, 7, 2. It's gonna be a little shorter base to the height, but oh, duh. Oh, god dang it. I hate when it just jumps back to the same layer. There we go. Perfect. In fact, let me just try this. Whoops. All right, and this one is, let me actually get the name, Sin. What do you think? Sort of went for the Susie side. You know what I mean. I could possibly move something back here like this and be like, whoops. Looks good enough. Perfect. Next up is Kaisik. That should be easy enough to replicate in another side view. This time it'll be a bit of a like this. Now they should be going back more, so... take a look back over here. All right, and here's case. Actually, wait, let me fix something real quick. Just to sort of get the head shape. If I do this. And how's this one for Kasich? Eye silhouette. Sure. Easy, easy, easy. I mean, if it's not deltarune standard, I don't really care that much, because, like... Yeah. Let's see, actually. Is that about what I'm going for? No. I need to move that. Alright, let's see. If I do this, and I do this, and it's like this, and I do this, and I do this, and then I do this. There we go. Here's a simple little eye silhouette. Perfect. I do agree that looks better. I just want to stay on, you know, on style until you said otherwise. Alright, and back to Krell. I think Krell would benefit from a head-on as a forward-facing one, so... Perfect. use this as a stand-in for a moment, so... Alright, that's gonna look a little dark, so let's just, Alright, and here is Krell. How does... Yeah, how's Krell look here? Perfect! Perfect. I didn't think I was going to get it quite right, but, you know, actually managed to get it down. And finally, Taiwa. What do we got for you, Taiwa? Let's try if we can get another head on. Alright. Perfect. Let's see. And in that case, I need to sort of go like. Okay, sort of a question. For Taiwa's head fin on the top, is that more of like a mohawk, or is there also like sort of stuff going on at the sides? Like, are the lower ones like going out almost like this? Or is it just all in the mohawk fin? Three fins like the ladder. Perfect. Perfect. Let's go for pixel perfect. Maybe that'll help. Perfect's gonna have to go down behind, so let's see actually if I can just Alright, how's this for now? How's this, rather? Some eyes, of course. Let me lecture this. Sort of matching his boyfriend a bit here. How's this? Perfect. Awesome. Let me just... Hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Last up. Let me grab a talk sprite to work from. Null's always good. They sort of have the biggest talk sprites on account of having a big fuck-ass head. Well, not a big head, but like the horns add to that. And ignore the obvious weird root spoilers up above, but then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go. Got a box to work with. And for some reference, we're going to snatch you. Snatch you. I'm going to get you another drink really gosh dang quick because it's sweltering in here and I can't turn on the AC without ruining the audio. In fact, I have a water bottle here. Let me grab one. Let me grab some of that. I get to try it out. thank you for the follow. I've met a sub goal again. This time work on commissions. That's awesome. Nice. Ugh. Good thing I hadn't left the room yet. That would have been awkward. Saturday mission indeed completed. Are you just a rando watching my streams, or are you one of the commissioner's buddies? It's part of the D&D group. Ooh, that's nice. Perfect. We're on our way. Let's bring up the actual gosh dang reference again. Alright. Let's go for a head-on this time. Actually, yeah, let's go for a head-on. Perfect. Let's go for you. I can carve this off a little bit. Wow, this is actually neat. Trying out a water bottle then that I bought specifically to go to a convention with, because the one I currently use doesn't actually hook onto anything, and I didn't want to keep it in my backpack. Ooh. Okay. Looking at that, sort of a bit of a... Even seems like this sort of has a bit of this in the background. Really? This is the same size as Noelle's? Oh, that would be why. I've gone way beyond the scope because of the horns. Actually, I can do this. And in order to shrink it down a little bit, and 1, 2. If I do a bit of this, in fact, let me also grab a Susie one, just so I can compare a little bit with that. Come on. Susie chapter 1, go here, open this, do this, zoom, and zoom. And compared to that, I think almost, yeah, that works, honestly. Now I can look at your referendum. In fact, I think I should be moving these a bit more south. Ooh, did I accidentally slip up here? Oh, okay. I see what it is. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. There we go. grab a reference. Sure. Perfect. That'll help a lot. That's gonna help a lot. In that case, I should sort of do this. These are almost circles. And let me just look at the reference again real quick. All right. How does... Actually, I should fix something first. All right. How does this look? Let me just clean up the little thing here. Perfect. Let's get some emotes done, and then we'll be literally all set. But 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. What were the emotes you wanted done again? I just forget what you had listed as the 3 emotions you wanted outside neutral. Did we put that in the doc or on DMs? Single, yeah, it doesn't specify on the document. Hey, firm concept, Spider-Man eyes thing with the surprise, angry, or sad. Spider-Man eyes expression. Okay. Man, this will be easy. Okay. Surprise sort of ends up being a bit big, so... which isn't a problem, obviously. Just gotta keep it in mind. Let's just have this set up for when I'm actually editing these, because the eyebrows are most certainly going to have to change, and I don't want that to be different. And I can always fix that in a minute. God damn it, what did I accidentally do here? Oh, that'll explain it. Flip. Bup, 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 bup. How's that look for a surprise look? Perfect. Spider-Man is the helpful one today. This should be pretty dang easy. Much faster, but here's a... Actually, let me just suggest one thing. Here's a nice angry thing, except I forgot the frickin' thing. There we go. There's angry. How's that look? The opera has definitely helped convey it a bit better than just these classic Spider-Man squints. Perfect. And let's wrap this up with a bit of sad. It's a D&D party adventure. It's gonna get sad. It's gonna get real sad real quick. See, this is funny because I can actually do this. Edit. It'll take a little bit more, but no, it's not quite what I'm going for. But it's at least a start for the shape. maybe I should lower this slightly, because then... Bup, bup, bup. Bup, bup, bup. And how's this for a sad expression? Fact, let me grab something really quick. Just as an experiment. Just as an experiment. Oh, they come at the... Okay. Our tears at corner of eyes. Ah, they come from the innermost, so it's like this. That's not looking good. Ah, well. Here we go. Let me know what you think, and if I get your approval, I'm going to just end stream, do the boring add text stuff, and submit this in both big size and raw size. Perfect, perfect. Thanks for sticking around on the stream. I'm gonna at least crop this for now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe this is the furthest one out, so canvas sprites. Oop. Canvas size. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is the bonus one good? Perfect. And then finally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Perfect! And I just need to copy this over. Thanks for tuning in. Glad to have a little calm art stream on Sunday to free up my Sunday and Monday evening. I'm glad you're happy with everything. I give you huge luck on creating the screenshot. If you need the assets, I know where the sprite repository for that is, so just hit me up in DMs. Either way, for those who tuned in, thank you. For those of you watching at home, also thank you. And, you know, until next weekend, bye-bye.